Any financial advice for 21-year-old graduate? Live within your means. Live so far within your means that you feel like you're underdoing it. If you let yourself suffer to save more, so long as it's not killing you, okay? If you do have to have that longer commute to have that cheaper rent, have that longer commute, find a way to make that commute make sense for you. Okay, find something to do on it. If it's trains, do some work on it. If it's a car, call people, open a voice note up and just start yapping about important shit you need to do later, whatever. Yeah, act like a broke college kid. Forever. Act like a broke college kid. Always assume that you could lose your job at any moment. Any moment. You don't need anything. Live a Buddhist lifestyle where you only need 10 shirts, okay? No, I'm a little crazy with it, where I live fairly minimalist. Over this summer, I bought clothes for myself for the first time in well over a year because I don't buy things. Yeah, bread, water, carrot. That is what I need. The only thing I really spend on is my cats. I buy them nice food. That's it. I just underdo as much as I possibly can, and I just try to live so far within my means as possible, and just live normally, okay? Don't let someone posting some shit on Instagram make you be like, I have to do that too. No, you don't. If you're sitting around in your house and you're hanging out, and then you go for a walk and you're hanging out, if the thought doesn't occur to you while you're doing that, oh, I need this thing, then you don't need it. Okay? You don't need it. You know what you do need money for, though? Me, for buying my merch. That is the one thing I will say you should budget for. My merch and using my 10% off code on Cheeky Soap. That is the one thing I think makes sense in this life. If you budget well, you too can have leftover funds for Cheeky Soap. If you put your funds into a savings account, that small percent you make each year would cover all of the merch I release in the year, wouldn't you know? Probably even more. Just saying. Yeah, wash your ass. Wash your ass. But I don't know. I think if you're trying to live well, buying some items that you'll actually use or that you'll display and look at a lot, good. Buying stuff that goes in your closet and you never really wear much, no. Going on a trip to see a family member that you haven't seen in forever, to go do a specific thing that you've always wanted to do, okay. Going to a place just because you heard it's good and you want to go to a place and then you spend like thousands of dollars on it, not good. You could probably go, okay, if you live on one of the coasts, when was the last time you went to your nearest beach? Go find, maybe not your nearest beach, go find the nearest beach that has like a boardwalk or a little area or a nice little restaurant and go to it. You could probably just drive to something that's a little far. Again, this is for coastal people. You could drive to something that's a little far and go have a great day, 2 days maybe, if you're getting a little crazy, and then go back. Let's say you don't live on the coast. There are all sorts of places you can go. You're like, I live in Western PA and PA has nothing. Okay, go to the Poconos. Like, you know what I mean? There's always something. And yeah, maybe it's like not the closest, but you don't have to fly to Rome. You know what I'm saying? Like there are really nice trips that you can do that are a lot smaller. And yes, there are going to be some people that live in the middle of nowhere. Yes, it's going to be far for some people. For most people, for where most of the population is concentrated, there's so much shit to do within a 50-mile radius, you know? So you don't have to go that crazy. I feel like everyone, like I keep hearing them say like they're gonna go, I'm gonna go to Aruba, I'm gonna go to Bali, and I'm like, brother, just Coney Island's really nice. You know, I'm like, go down the shore, man, go down the shore, go to Asbury Park, I don't know. Like go do some cool shit, go up to Westchester and go in the fall, and there's like 1,000 things to do up there, and you could just take the train north and be there. It's like not even, you know. And they're like, no, I have to go to Ireland and look at sheep. You're gonna go watch a guy who's speaking English, but you can barely understand him talk to you about his sheep, and then be like, "Get off my property," and then he's gonna keep hurting them. Like, I don't know, man. It's okay to do it occasionally. I know people that do this shit like yearly, and I'm like, brother, so much. And then they're like, life is so hard, it costs so much. Like, yes, but it didn't have to. You know, it didn't have to. I don't know. If you have the money, it's different. I just see people do that, and they don't really have the money to do that. Like, they think because they can, it means they have the money to do it. And I really don't think that is the case. Because they're not accounting for, like, their whole life, you know? They're accounting for what I have in this year and maybe next year. And I'm like, that's very different. Like, I don't know. I just think people don't budget. They don't budget well. I don't get it, man. You may have a slightly jaundiced view of travel. I'm talking about what I'm talking about weighed against money people do and don't have, right? So I'm saying this through the lens of, like, having watched a lot of people who really don't have the money to do this be doing this. I think if you have the money to do it, then this argument doesn't matter at all, you know? But those people don't have to worry about this. It's just that I see a lot of people do this when they really, like, they cannot. It's not within their means at all. And it's scary. I had a lot of friends get out of college and get their first adult job and start, like, you know, I'm saving up PTO to go to this place this summer. And I'm like, do you want to buy a house? And they're like, yeah, it's going to take forever. And I'm like, okay. I do understand, depending on how little you make or how much you make, it may be so out of the way that you're like, I'm giving up on it, I'm just gonna rent forever, okay? But if you're, like, actually trying, we gotta be trying here, you know? Like, I don't know. When people spend recklessly after tax returns. Yeah. There's like a huge retail season. When people get their tax returns, right after that, there's always this big retail boom. So it's actually a time where you are encouraged, if you are selling things, to put out items, which is, like, kind of crazy in the US, at least. A bit nuts that it's like that, but I don't know. That money ain't free. It's not. People are insane, literally insane. I don't get how they do it. Oh, your brother-in-law got a credit card from his job and jetted off to Hawaii, not understanding it was a card that you had to pay off every month. That's so scary. Yeah, I think credit cards are evil. They're really good if you know what they are. But if you, like, don't understand them, then they become pure evil. You know? Like, if you understand what they are and how to use them and you're getting your cash back, like, you could be in the positive. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that just, like, fuck up. Some people should get banned from credit cards, but of course, like, no one's going to do that. They want those people to keep spending recklessly and then going after them and keeping them in debt to them so they can get that money back and plus more. It's crazy. You said, am I weird for wanting more places to offer payment plans? Like, I can afford paying $60 a month for a few months to own a phone, but paying a few hundred up front would be a bit of a financial burden because you have other expenses to consider. No, that's normal. I think, that's the idea of what certain store cards are for. Store cards can get really dicey, though, and I don't trust them. I genuinely do not trust them a lot of the time. But their idea is that sometimes the store card will let you do that, where you can get that $200 item up front, and then, you know, you have, like, this weekly bill. But I feel like, again, that's only for certain stores, and I feel like they're kind of a scary scam. Or they just backload it at the end of the month and you pay it off like a normal credit card. Sometimes there's no interest fee if you pay within a certain time, or you pay a certain percentage of that per week. But it's usually so convoluted, I feel like you just get got most of the time, right? You usually get got. So I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Same thing with those online payment plans. You know how you gotta pay for something and they're like, pay now with card, pay now with PayPal, or pay in installments using and then it has some inserted logo of some payment processor that, like, is a company that does, you know, these payment plans for you. Well, pay with this, you know, yeah, Klarna, right? Like, all these different ones. I feel like those are, like, designed to kill people. You know, I don't trust those at all. I just I don't know. They are, yeah. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. I think, yeah, they trap you into stuff. They catch people. Like, the people using that are people who are having issues to begin with. And a lot of the time, you just don't need any of it. You don't need any of that stuff that you're trying to buy with these payment plans, typically. The fact that they're offering it on sites where you're likely buying stuff that you don't need, like concert tickets, etc., I'm like, this shouldn't even be an option. You shouldn't be telling people, I know you can't afford this right now, but what if you could? Kinda, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'm like, you're just trying to get people. You're just trying to get people. You heard many young people are getting fucked because of them too. Yeah, I think going back to even mid to younger millennials, I feel like around there they stopped teaching good home ec. Even before that, it wasn't that great, but I think they stopped teaching good home ec. And then younger millennials and beyond, you know, Gen Z, all that, a lot of people had scenarios where both parents were working all the time. So you didn't have your stay-at-home mom looking like a Stepford wife going, here's how you balance a checkbook, sweetie, and installing all of these ideas into your brain about how to handle finances, whatever. So I think a lot of young folks just never had like the constant reinforced reminders about how money works. And then on top of that, things have gotten more complex. You don't have to just balance a checkbook nowadays. You have like a billion things going on, and a lot of it's like in these weird digital dark pattern formats. And I think we just need a class. Like, we just need like a class that's, fuck it, federal level required for everyone. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Seminar, and you have to do a thing. You got a statewide driving exam? Okay, make a statewide credit card exam, you know? Or something. Do it everywhere. That's just my personal thought. They're not going to do it because they make money off of people making mistakes, but you know, if everyone was like interested in doing the right thing, it would be nice if we had stuff like that. They're just not. Netflix subscription 101. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, everything's subscription based too. So it's just kind of like, you can't help people. Let's just sit with them and their finances. No. Teach compounding interest. It's like not even hard either. At the same time, I'm a bit negative about it, where I'm also like of the mindset, if you have any interest in living your life properly, you have the internet in front of you most likely in the modern day, so you could just look it up, right? Do you really have any excuse? Oh, I didn't have a mom dressed like a Stepford wife at home telling me about finances. Okay, but you could have looked it up at any time. When you were young and curious, the moment you wanted to get your first credit card, you could have researched what credit cards are and how they work, and, you know, best practices. Maybe not that term because you wouldn't know that at that age, but like, you know, you would have just like looked things up, and you didn't. So I'm also kind of like, I feel both ways, right? You don't know what you don't know, though. What do you look up? That doesn't apply to this when I'm just like, how do I handle my finances as an adult? You could just Google that and legitimately you will find this information. Yeah, finances 101. And then from there, you just go deeper. You just keep going deeper, right? Yeah, Google, how do I get a credit card? What to watch out for, credit card. Enter. Right? So I don't know. I feel both ways, where I'm like, man, the world did these people a disservice, but I'm also like, they really did themselves a disservice when they have all the information in front of them if they just looked. So I don't know. I got one eye, one ball, one gauntlet, all GEEGA.
You're stealing from Heavenly if you say you have one ball.
What the fuck?